Hello, everybody. My name is Laura Kelly, and I'm here to talk to you about Emfx 5G Solutions.ie, which is an Irish website that was set up this year to sell EMF radiation protection devices. And I have set this up in conjunction with Kerry Smith, who lives in Vancouver in Canada. And Kerry and I met in 2019 when he came to Ireland to do some work. And around that time, or previous to it, I had been doing a lot of campaigning and education around 5G and the fact that it was the next generation of telecommunications technology that was being developed and would be rolled out. So kind of a campaigning against getting it rolled back and alerting people to the fact that it was coming and what it was about and how, you know, powers that be want us to live in a smart world and smart towns, smart cities, and how we're all going to be increasingly surrounded by electric smog. So when I met Kerry, and he had told me that he developed products to help with the EMF radiation, and they were tested for 5G, of course, that piqued my attention, and we had spent some time together while he was in Ireland, and I got to know him and his products, which, you know, told me that he was very much clued into his work, his design, what he had done, and then he was already doing it for a number of years previous, and with success. And these products weren't for sale in Ireland, so we joined forces then to bring them to Ireland to set up an Irish website to get the products out here. So I'll introduce you now to Kerry, and we'll talk further about the products and how they're different to other products on the market, and we look at some tests that were carried out to show the effects of them. Okay. So I'm just going to bring Kerry in here. Hi, Kerry.
Hi, Laura. How are you today?
Good, thank you. And you?
I'm very well. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Vancouver, so I'm
Okay.
happy. Yeah.
Well, there's a 9-hour or is it 8-hour time difference?
8 hours. 8 hours.
Yeah, so this is why there's a lighting difference effect here. You can see that Kerry is very bright there, and I'm quite hued in the dusk. That's our nighttime here, even though it's spring and the clocks have changed. It's dark now. It's 9:30. Okay, Kerry. So yeah, I'd introduced you there and talked a little bit about why I was quick to get on board with you and your products and wanting to bring the product to Ireland, so that we joined forces and set up an Irish website to bring the products here. So if you want to just tell everybody about what products are available, first of all.
Yes. Maybe I should start in the order of how they came about in the first place.
Okay.
So originally, my initial response was to the smart meter fiasco, which we sort of underwent here. Now that would be I guess 10 years ago they started putting in the smart meters, and I didn't want to have anything to do with that. And so I had been studying something called biogeometry, which is it's an environmental science. It's physics of quality, and what we do is that we change the quality of things. So particularly in this case, we're talking about electromagnetic frequencies. And electromagnetic frequencies, man-made ones, are inherently unsafe for all biological systems. And so the first thing that I came up with was I call it Electrify, and this is an example of it here. Mm-hmm. And that was made to go on to people's smart meters. And what that does is it I would suppose that everybody knows about smart meters and that they have cellular technology and a mobile phone technology, which is
in Ireland they're not fully rolled out in Ireland yet. They're probably quite far ahead of us that way in North America, but there our Electricity Supply Board, which is the ESB for short, has started to up the game and rolling them out again this year. So I'd say the main aim is to get them all in the cities first, and then to the major towns, and then to the countryside, maybe in that order. I don't know, but I haven't been approached yet. But for everybody listening, you can opt out. You can ring the ESB and you can email them and say you're opting out of the smart meter. But if you've no way around getting out of it, this is why you need Kerry's device. So it just means that the smart meter means that you no longer will have the meter reading man coming to your door to read the meter, or they won't email you anymore to ask you to take a meter reading periodically and send it to them. The technology will allow the meter reading to go directly using the Wi-Fi signal, the cellular data. Isn't that it, Kerry?
Yes, so it means more than that too, because
Yeah.
not only I mean it's great for their convenience, but there's more to it than that, and there are all elements of surveillance and so on and so forth, which we can go into at some point or not.
Yeah, won't be for the
But
scope of the talk today, but yeah, but I mean, from the get-go, this is why they're being put in. Yeah, there's other reasons for it, but they're being put in, and they're not going to be good, and they're not going to be good for a healthy, happy home to have them attached to it. So this is where electricity comes in.
yes, and the the thing is, you mentioned with the opt-out, which they eventually offered here as well, but it's a false solution, because if you opt out, you don't have one on your home. And the problem with them is that they have a cellular device in them that's constantly emitting day in, day out, all day and all night. And it's a pulse frequency, and those are very, very detrimental for us. And so they offer you an opt-out. Here what they did is they said that you would have to pay extra money for them to send somebody around and read it manually every month. So a lot of people did that, but that was a false economy there, because what happens is that your neighbor whose house, well, here, my neighbor's house, I could practically reach out the window and touch it, and his meter is just outside my window. So if he has not resolved his issue, or if he has a smart meter and I don't, his smart meter is still affecting me. So that
So
was
what's the solution?
so the solution was the electrify, or electrify, as you would say. And what it does is it harmonizes all of the electricity in the house, but it goes beyond that. And here, our electrical system is slightly different than yours, because we run on an alternating current and you run on a direct current. The principles are a little bit different, but the ultimate idea is the same. So what happens then is that my home is harmonizing my neighbor's home. So I don't care if he has a smart meter or not. It's because mine is harmonizing his. So that was the whole point of that. And here what we have transformers that step down the power from a high power to a household level. And what those transformers also do is they isolate little groups of houses. So every house that's on the same transformer as my house is being harmonized by my electricity, and then what the transformer does is it actually separates groups of houses. So it doesn't affect beyond the group that I'm attached to.
Okay.
There, it would go further. So it will harmonize your neighbor's house as well.
Okay. Okay, so that's the electricity, and that gets attached to the smart meter, or the electricity supply board. If you don't have a smart meter installed yet, that's where it's best put. You can also put it on the Wi-Fi router, but if you have it on the electricity supply board, by default, it's going to harmonize the Wi-Fi router and everything else that's plugged into the system, the cooker, the fridge, the lights, etc. Okay.
And in your neighbor's home as well. And just to make a point of that one, you can put it on your router, but one of the things is, I don't know there, but here they update the routers quite often. And I've had people that actually, it's gone with the router when they got the new routers. So I always prefer that you put it on the electrical panel, the supply
perfect.
panel.
Yeah. Okay, and the next product?
So what came after that immediately, that worked. So, and I was just starting to get into having a mobile phone in those days. I had an old flip phone, but I never ever used it. It was just in a drawer because I did not want anything to do with it. I could always feel the frequencies coming from it were poisonous, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So the next one was the telephy, and that's it right there. And so that was the next thing. And what it does is it will harmonize the signals coming from your phone. And what it actually does is it transmutes them. So harmonize, you wonder, what does harmonize mean? Well, we know that the signals are disharmonious and they affect us negatively. So making them harmonious is what we want. Um, and so what we've done is, I think that you have it there, and we can show that in a minute perhaps, some tests that show that in fact what it does is it improves your health of your glands, the function of your glands and organs and your major systems in your body, including in the brain with the glands, pineal gland and the pituitary and the hypothalamus. All of those glands are also affected. And what the beauty of this is that when you make a phone call to somebody else's telephone, it harmonizes their phone while you're speaking to them. And in that way, we're actually harmonizing our lives because we're harmonizing our relationships. And so business people will find that their meetings go, or at least telephone meetings or Zoom meetings and that type of thing, will hopefully go more smoothly, but it will be more harmonious, and people will receive a benefit as long as you're connected to their phone.
Okay.
When you hang up, they lose that benefit.
They lose the benefit. Okay, so we can have a quick look at the test page. I'm just after sharing the screen, and we're on the website here, and the test page is showing tests which are the result of using the BioWell human energy field camera. So the first one here, the images are showing the difference between the use of a telephy, a before and after effect on the physical body and our organ systems. If you want to talk through that, Perry, which ones in specific ones we can pick out to discuss?
Yes. So as you can see, we have before the telephy and after telephy. And then there's a list of the body systems. If you could just roll up to the top there. And it starts with the head and it goes down, so the eyes and the jaws and the teeth, goes down through respiratory, cardiovascular, endocrine system, musculoskeletal system, digestive system, and then further on down is the immune system. And what you can see here is on the left, you'll see a lot of orange, and you'll see a lot of red and a lot of green and some yellow. The green means that that system is functioning optimally, or is close to optimally. There are values, but for all intents and purposes right now, that means that the system is functioning properly.
Yeah.
Where you have orange, it means that it's a suppressed energy in that system. And where you have red, it means that it's also a suppressed energy, almost not functioning at all. For instance, on the left there, you can see where it says pancreas energy is 1.96, and it really should be up over 4. And so after using the telephy, we can see that the pancreas does increase up to 4.17.
Okay, so from here where it's red, it almost looks like pink for me, but anyway, there, and it's pancreas energy 1.96, and after the telephy on the phone for 12 minutes, it goes up to 4.17. Okay.
Yes, and also the adrenal glands there as well, and especially in this day, and that everything that we're dealing with the COVID and all of the panic around that. So a lot of people are having issues with their adrenal glands and so on. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the adrenal glands there, they're orange, and it's gone from 3.01 to 4.69.
Yes.
Okay. So we can see an improvement from left to right. There's more green on the right. Is there any other systems down along you want to pick out there, Kerry?
Well, we can see again down into the immune system starts to pick up. What I should point out is that the test takes 12 minutes, and it's the gas discharge visualization test takes 12 minutes. So what you have is the response of the body after only 12 minutes of having the telephy on the phone. And the same subject came back a year later with the same phone, and everything was the same. And we did the test again, and what we had was all green on the right side. So there's a cumulative benefit.
A cumulative effect over time.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, we just go down then to the next page, which shows the biofield around the body and the effect of having the telephy before and after. So the before picture is on the left, where at the head crown chakra, you can see the opening there, and a lot of other maybe breaks in the aura as well. And then on the right, it's again showing what the effect after having the telephy on the phone, and that's totally closed up here, top of the head, and a lot of the aura is filled in without as many breaks as well after.
Yes, and what it's doing, so the biofield or the aura is an electromagnetic field around us, and it protects us from other natural electromagnetic radiation. And the man-made electromagnetic radiation shreds it, as you can see. It just totally decimates it. So
Yeah.
again, this is after 12 minutes of having the telephy on the phone. Now I have an interesting, this was a test that was done in India at the Center for Biofield Sciences. And what they do is they use a kind of a visualization camera for the biofield. And so in 2015, I did a double-blind placebo-controlled trial there. I commissioned that. And so some of the results are here now. And I can show you really briefly. Can you see this okay?
Yeah.
And so this person, the trial lasted for 2 weeks. So this fellow came beforehand, you can see this is a visualization of his biofield. And it actually looks quite nice. He was probably somebody who meditates and has a sort of a different type of mindset. And then after 1 week, what we can see is that his biofield is expanding. So here we see the pink and the green, and then it's actually yellow, and then it goes into gold in the center.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that starts expanding. There's the yellow, and there's the gold, and then there's another band of white light there, and then further gold in behind him. And then that's after 1 week. And then after 2 weeks, you can see that it's expanded even more. So now that this yellow in here is now way out here, and there's a new color come in of blue.
Sure.
This person was another subject.
Yeah.
And what you can see is that he didn't have any pink. He had some yellow, no gold, no blue, anything in his aura. And then after 1 week with the telephy onto his phone, you can see that he started to get this nice green, and the pink started coming in, and the yellow and gold as well. And then after 2 weeks, you can see that it's expanded hugely. And now that pink that was up there is now, you can just make it out on the very edges here.
Okay.
So that is a massive expansion of the biofield.
It's a great demonstration, isn't it? Very good. Okay, so the last product that we could discuss as well, we haven't mentioned it before in our other talks that we've done for these events much, is the Aquafeed, and that was designed for harmonizing water. Did you want to explain something about that, Kerry?
Yes. In some ways, it's my favorite one, but I can't have a favorite because they're all doing good work. So that's. But how the Aquafeed came along was, it was somebody who was using the telephy and the electrofeed in their home, and she was an older woman. She'd be in her 60s, but she's still active and traveling for work. And what she found was that whenever she left Vancouver and went to other jurisdictions, she started feeling like, she described it as like she felt like she was getting Alzheimer's. It was affecting her brain. And what she deduced was that it was probably the water, because in Vancouver we don't have fluoride in our water here. And as we know, fluoride numbs the mind and causes issues. So so she was concerned about that, and she asked me if I could do anything for water. And so I put my mind to it, and I came up with the Aquafeed. It comes in 3 different sizes here. So it's a small one, which is a pocket size. I like to carry them in my pocket all the time, and a medium one and a large one. They also come in sets of 3, which is a little bit of a better deal. So she started testing it for me, and she went away with one, and she came back, and she wasn't having the same symptoms in her brain of Alzheimer's like symptoms. And she was conferring with a naturopath at the same time who confirmed that she was having issues through muscle testing and applied kinesiology and that type of thing. And so then she confirmed that she wasn't having the issues after using the Aquafeed on the phone. So we were quite pleased about that. And what it does, it improves the taste and texture of the water, besides the quality of the water. For water that has chlorine in it, it will eliminate a lot of the smell of the chlorine, and over time you won't smell any chlorine whatsoever. So that was really fantastic and very happy. And then we started finding out other things that it does when people started using it and reporting to me different things that they were experiencing. And one person in particular was having lower back pain and was in an incredible amount of pain one day, and just instinctively put the large Aquafeed on her back, and she was astounded that the pain went away. And then when she told me that the pain had gone away, I said, "Oh, that's called a placebo effect, and that's wonderful." But no, she absolutely insisted, and so we started testing it for pain with different people, with children, with dogs. Testing it on myself as well, and sure enough, it does. It relieves pain in the body. Any kind of pain, menstrual pain, from menstrual cramps, for headaches, digestive issues, lower back pain, muscular aches and pains. It prevents bruising, or it causes bruises to heal more quickly. And then from that, somebody else reported that when they put it over their solar plexus, it ridded them of anxiety. And they were having quite a few anxiety issues, and they had one over the solar plexus, and their anxiety went away. Um, and so then just testing different things, and started testing to see if it would make plants grow better. I was curious about that, being that they're full of water. We're full of water as well, which is why it works on our bodies. And so the plants seemed to grow better. And then I had sort of an inclination that maybe the food in my refrigerator would benefit from it. So I got tired of my coriander turning into brown mush after 3 or 4 days after buying it. And so that was my first real test, was to put the coriander in to see what would happen. And I was astounded that rather than 3 or 4 days, it actually lasted 3 weeks in my refrigerator. And it eventually started drying out. And so it never turned to the brown mush. So I thought that was quite remarkable. And then the last thing, the really remarkable thing, is that last time I went to Ireland, I was there for 5 weeks. And before I left, I had a pint of cream, or a half a liter of cream, that I had just bought, but I didn't need it. I didn't use it before I left. So I put it into the back of my refrigerator. And when I came back from Ireland the next morning, I realized, oh, I don't have any cream for my coffee. And I was a little bit, sad about that. And I went, no, there's a bottle of cream in there, but surely it's no good now. It's 5 weeks old. It must be just, oof. But I pulled the bottle out and I opened it up, and it was just like it had been poured that day. It was fresh. And then I went through the whole bottle of cream. So it extends the shelf life of perishables. And one of the things that I always do, and I recommend everybody do, is I always have one in my pocket, and that's why I made the pocket size of them. Or ladies can carry them in their bags or in their purse, and that is useful in ways that if I run into somebody who's hurt themselves, I can see her put that on there, and it'll help with the pain. Or if I stop somewhere for a coffee, then I can put it on to my Aquafeed, and it'll improve the flavor of the coffee, take the bitterness out of it, and so on and so forth.
Okay, great. So the effect on the body is basically connected to the fact that we are a high percentage of water. Our bodies
80%,
so it's harmonizing the water in our body.
yes.
Yeah, fascinating. Fascinating example with the cream after 5 weeks.
You can read, yeah, you can read more about it on the website too. It's hard to give an overview
I don't
of
think we've
everything.
gone into all those examples, but on the website you can read some overview of everything, of all the products, and on the testimonial page you can read about people's experiences.
Real experiences.
Kindly offered us testimonials, and on the frequently asked questions page there's more information on technicalities around 5G and electricity and the difference between it and other products on the market. So maybe finally, Kerry, we just wrap up briefly with the difference between your products, specifically for the EMF radiation, the electricity, the therapy, compared to products that are on the market. Maybe if you just want to talk about one comparison, or yeah, I guess one big aspect of them is that they make the EMF radiation, the frequencies beneficial for us, that you turn it into a benefit. That's what harmonizing means, as opposed to just blocking them, or, you know, you say transmuting, but they're the only product on the market that actually makes them beneficial.
Yes, to my knowledge, and I want to make a comment on that blocking or shielding thing as well, because you can't actually block or shield the electromagnetic frequencies, because that's what makes the phone work, or whatever it is work. That's how they work. So if you block them, it's not going to function any longer. So they have to be there. There's a specific frequency in there, which is it's a dangerous frequency, which I don't have time to go into right now. But that is the frequency that needs to be eliminated, and you actually have to transmute it. It cannot be blocked. It has to be transmuted. So it was part of an issue too with the whole thing with cellular phones, and why I never really wanted one is because I knew that there were products on the market, but I didn't know which ones worked, and most people don't. You have no way of testing them. And you can do all sorts of tests at laboratories and so on and so forth, and for whatever it's worth, and that goes for mine as well. But in the work that I do, what we do is we use the human body as our tester. So if it's affecting the body negatively, then it's not a good thing. So these are just a few of the different things that I have, and I don't want to identify them because I don't want to put down other people's products. So, but little tabs that come up, they're kind of like this, or there's another one here, and they're all kinds of different ones, and
they're like stickers that
stickers, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which are, mine are also little stickers, but the difference is that a lot of these actually add to the problem. And we can go into that. Maybe we'll do some seminars on the web page someday, to expand on that. And some of them actually make things worse than what we started out with. Some of them are very expensive. This one was given to me to test, and I don't know what that costs, but I would suggest it's probably a couple of $100, and it actually doesn't do anything meaningful at all. It actually does make things worse, by adding in another frequency. There are products that work there, and I will tell everybody what they are if you don't want to buy.
We have mentioned a couple of products on the website and the frequency asked questions page that you stand over that do work. Yeah.
Yes.
We can go there to find that out.
Yeah, so if you're not going to go with Emfx Solutions, I strongly recommend one of theirs. I've never tested their stuff on 5G. Mine has been tested on 5G now for 3 years, and it does transmute and harmonize 5G. So I'm absolutely certain of that. And I don't know about EarthCom and Eris and ADR and those ones, what they do for 5G or not. I don't know. I haven't tested.
You know that they work, that they ameliorate effect, but you don't know whether they work on 5G yet.
No, they work on your 4G. They would definitely work on 4G and that type of thing.
Okay, they're the ones that are referred to, that are mentioned on our website. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Kerry, is there anything else you'd like to say just to wrap up?
Well, I'm sure there is, but I could talk for hours, but I won't, because we don't have that much time. But I think that I think that we should probably put more informative videos and maybe do seminars on the web page and set up
people can watch out for that in the future. Yes.
And ask questions and that type of thing too.
Yeah. Well, you can always ask questions. You can contact us through the contact.
Yeah.
And that's there on the page and on the website. You can send us an email, and we'll endeavour to answer your questions, of course. Yeah, feel free.
And I guess the last thing is, you can probably see from our banners here that we use for going to shows. I did a show at the RDS in 2019, but because of all of this COVID stuff, I haven't been able to come back, but I will. I'll be back and I'll be using that again. And what you see is it says up on the top, harmonize your life. And we mean that we really want to harmonize our lives, and we want to harmonize the world, because the electromagnetic frequencies, and especially with 5G, are at a point where they're affecting not just us, but they're affecting everything that's alive. And we need to make a difference, and we need to do it soon. So
yeah, great.
so
Okay,
harmonize
well,
your life.
thank you, Kerry, and thank you everybody for listening. And please go and check out our great website, emfx5gsolutions.ie, where you can read more about everything in more detail than we've gone into here, and ask questions, and yeah, think about harmonizing your life further with our products. We would be delighted to help in any way. Kerry also does geopathic stress amelioration in homes, but as he's not on Terra Firma Ireland right now, he's not available to do that, but he hopefully will be in the future, and that's all linked to harmonizing your life and healing your home and your house along with the products as well. Okay, so thank you everybody for listening, and take care, and bye for now. Bye, Kerry.
Bye. Thanks for your interest, and enjoy your harmonized life.
Okay, bye bye.